That was a good crack. That was impressive. All right, boys. Welcome to the Premier League and Pints, Episode 1. This is going to be the start of our new weekly endeavor, we want to call it.
Yeah, it works.
All right, endeavor sounds good.
Oh, hi, people.
Yeah, Brian, finish pouring your drink. So we're going to talk about Premier League soccer, clearly, and we're going to drink. And that's kind of the whole concept here.
Those are my two favorite things.
Oh, right. The whole idea is we want to be, it's just a casual conversation that you would have normally between friends.
Yeah, the way
we're talking about.
The way I look at it is like if you're at a bar with your friends, just talking soccer, shooting the shit. That's what we're going to be doing here. Hence the name, Premier League and Pints.
Can we get off topic real quick? Shooting
Sure.
the shit is a great saying or phrase, whatever you want to call it. I love it.
Yeah, shooting the shit. Yeah, we know we like a little friendly banter now and then. We'll have a couple friendly or unfriendly debates.
Oh, I'll be unfriendly.
Throughout the show. We're all excited. The season starts in about 3 days, 4 days?
4 days.
4 days.
Yep.
So
I think, to really kick us off, we got to introduce ourselves.
Oh, we should
no one
introduce
else
ourselves. That's true. Let's start left to right, or right to left, depending if you're watching this on video. It might be flipped, but...
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dan. I played professional soccer in the MLS for 3 years.
Well, that's a lot.
Lying.
That's a quick...
No, I'm kidding. We all played soccer together growing up, all throughout high school, or all throughout elementary school, middle school, high school, and soccer's been a passion of ours ever since. Unfortunately, I'm an Arsenal fan. You'll learn. I have some very heated, some serious thoughts about that, and it kind of sucks being an Arsenal fan, but we'll see. But yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, I mean, Dan half introduced us, so I don't have to do too much there. Like that kind of goes in, like we said though. It's not. We're not analysts. We're not experts. We're people that
far from it.
Yeah, we're people that we played the game. We've coached the game. Are coaching the game currently still.
Oh, yeah.
We've trained people. It's just it's something that we love. That's just a hobby that we watch. Games on the weekend, we talk about them, text about them, send stupid gifts.
And it's an excuse to drink, too.
Well, right, exactly, and that's another reason. I mean, we've gone to the bar at 8 a.m. to watch games, and let's be honest, nothing's better than a morning beer and watching some Premier League.
A little breakfast beer.
Little breakfast beer, right, correct. Okay.
So we know Dan.
Oh, I'm Garrett, by the way.
That's Garrett.
Yeah.
And if you're watching this, you could see the jerseys we're wearing. You're already judging us as soon as you hit play. I'm Brian.
That's okay.
Unfortunately... Like Dan, my team sucks. Not as bad.
Better shape than I am.
I'm a Man U fan.
Yeah, I mean,
Dan will get in a lot of heated debates. Me, I'm just gonna say United's the best at everything all the time.
and he's gonna lie.
I'm very, 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 very biased about it. I'm just gonna be honest up front.
Like every other delusional Man United fan, coming from
hey.
the Man City fans sitting in the middle. So.
Yeah, you're right.
But I mean,
delusional.
we are top 6 supporters. We all like teams in the top 6. But we want to make this an inclusive podcast, so we're going to talk about everything from Leeds to Newcastle to Aston Villa to
Maybe not Burnley.
and maybe not Burnley.
Not Burnley.
I don't know.
It's Burnley.
It's just so easy to
It's
pick on
Burnley.
Burnley. So we want to try to touch on everything.
Burnley fans,
so
I love you.
If you have any suggestions, you can comment it, post at us, send at it, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to go. So since it's our first episode, obviously you guys didn't send us anything. So we'll just talk a little bit about last season, some key points, things, upcoming season awards and all that fun stuff.
Can we do a favor?
What's up?
We not talk about last season. I don't really like last season. Last season wasn't very fun.
I mean, none of us really liked last season, dude. Liverpool won. Not only won, but thrashed pretty much the entire league.
Won by 18 points, right? Was it some crazy
Oh, yeah,
margin?
it's 18 is right here.
Should have been more.
So my question is it going to be remembered as the year that Liverpool won, or the year that the season almost lasted a full calendar year because of COVID? Because that was probably one of the craziest things we've all experienced.
Yeah, all right, I got a hot take on that. Not really a hot take, but it counts. I hate to say it because I hate Liverpool, but it counts.
Of course it counts.
Yeah, but it's
one ever
it's
argued
going to
it
be no, it's going to be remembered as the year they won it. I don't think it's going to be remembered as the year of COVID, just because they haven't won it in forever. I will say though that it was kind of funny watching them lift the trophy with no fans there. I kind of got a joy out of that.
Yeah,
just as a United fan, it was kind of cool to watch. But yeah, no, I don't think it's going to go down as the COVID year. I think it's going to go down as the year they won. That's what it's going to be remembered as.
Yeah, I think in recent memory, it'll be like, oh, that was the year COVID happened. But looking back in 10 years, no one's going to be like, I remember when they celebrated with it. They might say when they celebrated without fans, because it was kind of a funny sight. But
Yeah.
Loved it.
it's going to be something that's remembered for both.
Yeah, and all the changes that came with it, the 5 subs, the water
God,
breaks,
that.
things
Oh,
like
dude,
that.
Can we talk about the water breaks?
Thank God those are gone.
Bro, we've played growing up double header, 45-minute half. We didn't get a water break, and it was
No.
like 125 degrees.
No, these are professional athletes too. I mean, like,
Dude, come on.
It's like they were
you don't
sitting
play
around
for
all
a month
all
and a
like-
half. They all have home gyms. They're
Yeah,
all
they were all just
millionaires.
sitting around during the break. They're
Yeah.
running, they're lifting, they're playing. Like, come on.
I mean, we were out
Figure
there
it
on
out.
weekends eating like subs and cheesesteaks in between games, and we survived.
I get it if it's like really hot out, like super heat. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a different
That-
thing.
that's
But
all you
this
guys
is
need.
just because they're out of shape.
It was like 75 degrees, and they
Yeah.
were like, 25 minutes
Dude,
in, guys, let's get some water.
I ate so much in
And-
between games.
On top of that, that they also changed the course of some of the games too after the water breaks. It's
Oh, yeah.
essentially a timeout, like in basketball. Like your team comes over and like you can change your tactics. If something's not working, it's basically a timeout.
Yeah, I mean,
And you saw that in some of the games.
the first game back for United when they were playing Tottenham, I think the first half ended 0-0, but I think Tottenham came out and they were dominating the second half, and the water break happened, and then United got their feet under them. They got some momentum going.
well,
Like, I hated it. Like, again, Tottenham should have won that game, but then United had time to take a break, talk about it, and then talk about the changes they're going to make, the tactics they're going to change, and I just hate it.
well,
Screw
what
the
it
water break.
did, it actually, as crazy as it sounds, it actually gave the coaches more impact on the game because they practically had 3 sessions during this game to actually talk to their team and change tactics if things weren't working.
Forgot about halftime. That's the thing.
So you had 25-minute water break, you had halftime, and then you had, 70 minutes in with 20 minutes left. I mean, that's a lot of time that coaches don't normally have to get their entire team together and talk to them. So, I mean, that was something that we don't want anymore. Along with the 5 subs, I thought that was also.
Oh,
They got rid
you
of
talking
that.
about that?
Yeah, no, they got rid of it. Thank you.
Okay, thank God, because
Yeah.
that was you're bringing on a half a team. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Stop. No. No.
And as a City fan where Pep just literally no one rotates their team more, I don't think. So I'm sure he was all for it, but it was just
You
annoying.
didn't need a water break and the 5 subs. Pick one. If
Yeah.
you had one over the other, I could see it. I'd be okay with it, but they didn't do that.
But
And it pissed me off.
it was an unprecedented time last year, so they were just kind of throwing in any rules they felt were necessary.
Yeah, but going back to your original point, I do think it'll also be remembered the year Liverpool won. Obviously, it's been years and years since they won their last title. And they
never
did
won
it
the
in
Premier
dominant fashion. Like we said, 18-point gap to City, who was in second place. And it honestly should have been more. After the Project Restart, they just...
Yeah.
They
kinda-
coasted.
They had already won at that point. They were just like, all right, let's take it easy and just
Yeah.
finish out the rest of the season. You could see their performances decline after that. Like
100%.
even the Community Shield when they lost to Arsenal.
Dan just trying to plug
yeah,
that in there
oh,
like it was
plug.
like a natural
So hard.
plug.
Any
by the way.
any chance I can brag about getting a trophy, I will. So,
That was an awesome plug. That was fantastic.
but yeah, that's just one example, though. Is what I'm saying. So, they definitely, I definitely think it was one of the most dominant, championship titles in the last couple of years, aside from City's.
And another big point that hopefully we don't have to continue too long, that I thought I would hate in the beginning, but it actually was a great addition to me, was the artificial crowd noise. Because some stadiums and teams had fun with it. Like they had chants going during certain times.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was only broadcasted on TV, not in stadiums.
But yeah, I'm talking about for us. I don't care about them playing. I'm
Oh, I
watching
was like,
the
what
game,
the
bro.
hell?
I wasn't there. I'm watching
Oh,
the
no,
game.
that infuriated me.
Well, you're the.
I loved it.
heard.
Dude, a guy would take
explain
his-
your point.
It's better than just sitting in
Dead silence.
and hearing. It's
I
basically like
agree.
a training
But
practice.
For me, there would be a shot, and there could be really good save. 2 seconds after the ball was away from the goalie, then the crowd erupted. Like they were so delayed on it. Like get it together.
I thought they were pretty good.
Dude,
at
it's
I
that.
literally
didn't
probably
like it.
one dude sitting behind a soundboard
Get more
clicking
dudes.
buttons.
Like, it took 3 of us to figure this out. Get 3 guys out
Wasn't it
there.
FIFA noises originally?
I think it was like a mixture of FIFA noises, old crowd noise,
Some chants.
chants.
I will
Yeah,
say
it was-
though, in other leagues when they put the FIFA fans into the stadiums, that was hilarious.
Oh, dude, yeah, they
loved that.
holographically projected.
Oh, they CGI'd those guys in there. It was
Projected
freaking
guys.
hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh man.
So we're gonna go back to last year. We do have our rundown here. We're gonna have in front of us. Again,
Yeah.
if you're watching us on
Mine's over
video,
here.
if you're having
Mine's over here.
just on audio, then we're looking
Phone
at
guy.
something. So we gotta follow our. So our next thing to talk about, we had teams that underperformed that we thought would do better than last year.
Oh my god. Where are they?
Well, Everton, we all thought going into last year was gonna, and again this year we're gonna talk about them.
Oh my god. Yeah. Wait.
They
were
had,
supposed to, we
dude,
thought
they
were
had
so
such good signings. They had such a big year, and literally so underperformed from the expectation. I thought.
Yeah. Do you have
Um,
the table up, Brian? Where did they finish?
Everton. It's 12.
12.
Ah,
So like
that's not
bottom
good.
10 for a
Behind
team
South,
that puts
behind Burnley.
Burnley. Behind the team that puts so much effort, and again transfers, and they transferred again this season, and it's like they're like the Cowboys equivalent in the NFL. Like they're just always average or below average, no matter what they do.
Yeah, that was the most spot on comparison.
You need to think about it too. Like, yeah, all that happened, but they did sign Ancelotti, who's been known. You know, he's a great manager. Has a lot of experience, and now this is his first transfer window. We won't get into all the transfers. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But like, he's making moves. You can see the team perform a little bit better under his leadership. So. I don't know. It could be a different season, but then again, we thought that last year too. So
Exactly.
My dark horse last year was Norwich. They didn't do pretty well.
Yeah, dude,
They really did.
Yeah, they do.
They did. Yo, Pookie was great in the beginning.
Dead last.
And then just they did beat City though, so hey, anything could happen.
Yeah, but I hate to talk about Arsenal, just because. But I think they need to be mentioned in this category too. The teams that underperformed.
100%.
Like 8th place for a team that's a traditional top 4 team is not good.
6,
Not
maybe.
good at all.
Traditional, I said. So.
But
Traditionally top 6.
they're a team in the upcoming season that I think a lot are getting much higher expectations with the fact that Arteta has time now
I
with
don't
the
like
team.
them.
They have
I don't like them
transfer.
this year. They're going to be good.
There you
It's
go.
going to bother me.
There's a lot of teams. Like this is going to be a much, I think, more competitive season, in my opinion, than the last couple have been.
Yeah, and competitive for all different positions too. Like
Correct.
obviously, you got your clear teams that are running for the title,
Right.
and then
We'll talk
there's
about.
the top 4 race, and then there's staying in the league, like the relegation.
Yeah, I
battle.
mean, there's teams that literally are just trying to get 16th or higher. Like that's
Survive.
their only goal, right? Because just the amount of money, and like you just well, look what happened. Like where teams that drop, and what happens is they just lose all their good players to
Bournemouth
teams
Exhibit A.
that stayed in the Premier League. We'll talk about transfers, but like it just shows how important staying up is. So
Yeah, in terms of sponsorships and
Yeah,
prize money
it's
and
crazy.
just television time,
Yeah. And
it makes all the difference.
And you said you're talking about Arsenal, and even for me as a United fan, completely underperformed. Like I think their first 4 games they played great. I think they scored like 3 or more goals in every game. After that, awful.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, it hurts to say this, but the break saved us because we got Bruno and he turned the team around. The break actually saved us, and I don't know, they just were really underwhelming after the first 3 games of the year and made me want to cry.
well, that's a point of a Man U fan. All right, good to know.
Any other teams, or are we good with the ones we mentioned?
I mean, the underperformed. Looking at the table, I mean,
Everyone kind of finished where you would think they would.
What about overperformed?
Forbes. I mean, Leicester. I don't think anyone had Leicester in the top 5 going into last year.
No,
I mean,
Wolves too.
Wolves in 7 too?
Yeah, I mean Sheffield for a while was up, and I think they would have been if they would have
Project
stayed up. But
Restart.
the restart killed them as a team. They
I will
ended up falling to the middle of the
I
table,
will say
which
to an
isn't bad. But
to an extent, I feel like Burnley, in 10th, kind of better than people would think.
you just
They're
don't
always
like
around
Burnley.
there. I feel like.
No, I like Burnley. You guys don't. Come
Apparently,
on.
no one likes Burnley.
Burnley fans, I love you.
But yeah, a lot of these teams like Wolves obviously had a great season. I love their coach too.
Dude, he
Espirito.
looks just like Lawrence Fishburne.
I
and he
know.
lost like 50 pounds. Bro,
I know.
I think I know who that is.
It's a great.
I'm really bad at
It's
that.
so
He's an
funny.
actor.
Like he might be in the
Oh,
Matrix. It's
alright,
a hit or miss.
Whatever. Oh, wow. We timed that on perfectly.
That was good,
You
guys.
say them too?
Yeah.
Got him.
Great.
All right, so should we go into our next section where
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah,
review the league awards?
Yeah, we're into some players.
Starting with player of the season.
Which had a lot of debate going into it.
A lot of debate just because he's not on the championship team.
Which we've seen in recent years isn't the final decider because I don't think a player from the winning team has won the last 3 years.
That's how it should be.
Who
It
won
should just be
last
the best
year?
player.
Van Dijk?
Van Dijk won, and I think Salah won the year before that.
Oh, that's because he scored like 35
Yeah,
goals or
yeah.
something.
So like
ridiculous.
that's obviously not. So most people would argue it was between De Bruyne and Henderson. Was the top 2 that people
Yeah,
argued
and
for.
the only reason you're picking Henderson is because he was the captain of the team that won. Like,
Right, correct.
What else did he really do?
And of course, and you're gonna have the fans that are Liverpool. It's like, oh, what he does doesn't show up on the stat sheet. It's like,
and they're right, but
which is true. But the problem is that De Bruyne does things that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, and he had things that did show up on the stat sheet. I think
Yeah,
was the
He's
bigger
just
problem for
so
them.
much better.
Yeah, like
yeah, I mean, looking at his
He deserved
stats,
it.
13 goals, 20 assists, has
Yeah.
a hand in 33 of City's goals. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
that's crazy. Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead.
no, you go. You please, Dan.
No, I was just
my.
saying, like, and his 20 assists is was 7 more than the next closest player, who was Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, which is it's
Um,
just,
so
and he tied the record, right? That was the Henry record that he was going for at the end of the year.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm okay with it. I think he deserved it.
I do too, but I might be biased. But
I don't want to talk too much in
think
fantasy,
he
but he
deserved it.
saved me in fantasy this year.
Oh, that's not good.
but yeah, go the next one.
Next one, I think this was clear and obvious choice. I mean, it was manager of the season. it was Klopp. I mean, the team got 99 points and won the league by week 10. It felt
just
like.
hit me. They only lost 3 games.
Yeah.
Lost 3
Wow.
games, tied 3 games, yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, they didn't get to the 100-point mark, which I think for them, even though they won, I'm sure they would have liked to get
Wanted
there.
that, yeah.
If they didn't have sorry, I'm dying. If
Jeez.
they didn't have the break,
You have a drink.
they would have got
Clear your
there.
throat.
They would have got there if they didn't have the break.
I think so too.
I agree with
honestly.
you, yeah.
And then before COVID, they were like almost unbeatable. Like it was
Lights
insane.
out.
Yeah, it was like a lights out shooter. They weren't missing.
I like Touch United though.
So far above everyone else.
Yeah.
I mean, 18 points next, above City too. That's impressive, and
Yeah.
that's even with their poor form at the end of the season. So
Yeah, exactly.
who knows what they could have been if they stayed on it.
Yeah.
But,
And speaking of Liverpool, young player of the season. Like I
Trent.
just mentioned Trent.
Yeah.
But he had what?
13 assists.
13. Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Now, is there any players you thought could have fought for young player of the season there? Is there any? I mean,
Completely unbiased.
How young
Mason
is
Greenwood.
young?
I wonder what the rule
kidding.
is actually. Do we have anyone? Let's get a quick search
Yeah,
here,
you know, let's
while
go-
we're talking.
Because Trent, I feel like, is 21 maybe.
21, 22.
I would say probably 21 or younger.
He probably is the age 21, 22.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're obviously from the USA. I think if Pulisic had in the beginning of the season the form he had at the end, he might have been in the conversation. I
He
mean,
had
plays.
injuries too throughout the season.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he
Who'd trade
plays
here,
for
by
a
the
big
way?
club. What?
Player of the year is 23 or under.
Oh,
At the start of the season.
So a lot of people then
At the
really
start
could
of the
have.
season. So you can turn. I think you can turn 24, but as long as you start the year at 23 and under, you're good.
That's good. I mean, there was a lot of young players that I think kind of came on towards the end of the season. Like Greenwood for Man
there's
U
Trent.
played better towards the end.
Trent's
Like I
only
said,
21.
yeah, we just said that.
God,
Are
he's
you
good.
listening?
No,
You're right
I
next
was.
to
You told me to research. I was good. His fault.
this guy.
I was googling.
Any other young? I mean, Madison's young. How old's
What?
Arsenal?
Give me a team.
Yeah.
Give me a team.
Saka?
Saka's like 19, isn't he?
Yeah, he's young. He's like 18, 19. They also have Martinelli too, who played really good this season, but they did. I don't think they had the stats to get this
Right.
kind of recognition. Saka towards the end of the year really made a difference, and I think he'll probably have a spot in the team moving forward. But to me, it's pretty clear. Trent Alexander.
Yeah, it was Arnold.
wins it, Yeah.
It was pretty much like who raced for second at that point. But,
Yeah.
this year coming up, there's a lot of names to watch because a lot of younger players seem to come on towards after that COVID break that played well.
Yeah. Even to your point, Pulisic, he has a shot at it next year too.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't go out too long with that hamstring that he's dealing
He's
with.
back. He's in training.
I'd like to hear it.
Yeah.
And then moving on, we have Golden Boot.
I
Jamie
mean,
Vardy.
Unexpected, honestly. If you would have asked me at the beginning of the year, I don't think I would have
said that.
I would have picked Vardy.
Really wouldn't have said that.
Dude's 34 and still running
This
around
dude
like
just
a madman.
Yeah, does not
bagging
care.
goals like it's his job. Well, it is his job. So
Technically, it is his
Aubameyang was
job.
one off.
what?
Aubameyang was one off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a close race.
You know who shocked me?
Danny Ings.
How? Why?
Dude,
What?
Danny Ings was a great player that had a bad
What?
injury.
Dude, have you seen him play? He's
a
actually a
stud.
really
Yeah.
solid player.
I didn't
really
know
good.
that.
He was with
didn't know
Liverpool and then had some bad injury. It was either his knee or his hamstring.
Yeah.
And they dropped him for like nothing. And then, dude, he went to.
Finding his form.
scumbag Liverpool. Drop players for
At least
injuries.
you're not biased.
That was completely.
But Danny Ings
unbiased.
is a good player. Great player.
Yeah, and then right under him was Salah and Mane, the
usuals.
Liverpool boys. Yeah.
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 So,
The usual suspects.
Well, that's really
to call them.
obnoxious. There's no United player in the top 5. That kind of
Yeah,
sucks.
dude,
huh?
because they're terrible.
Hey. Anyway, next
I mean,
one.
they're no Burnley, but
Next one, and I think my favorite because I'm a loser. Golden Glove.
Is it
Which-
De Gea?
No, I just like.
Certainly not De
Oh,
Gea.
we're not talking about this right now, gentlemen.
that's the worst goalie in the league. Again, surprising, I would say, even as a City fan, like
And with their
surprising.
defense.
Yeah, like we have a topic later on that I wrote down that I would like to discuss, and I'm honestly on one side of it that's maybe a little surprising, but I would not expect Ederson to have the clean sheet here. I was surprised at the end of the year when he
Googling again.
Led
Don't
it.
worry.
yeah.
got Mr.
Oh,
Google
I was just
over here.
Googling.
I think Nick Pope was like second or like up there too. Like there's some good young goalies who play for these like not so middle of the pack club.
Yeah,
Nick Pope, was he Burnley, Bry?
Nick Pope was Burnley. I thought Dean Henderson was up there too, though.
I think he was kind of up there. Yeah.
I mean it's hard for
I
these
was.
teams.
That's
I mean,
Sheffield.
I would love to know the amount of shots Ederson faced versus Nick Pope. Like it has to be such a large,
yeah.
just like separation there. I mean, obviously as a team, Man City who has the ball 85% of the time, you're not dealing with half as many shots. Mr. Google over here like once every 4.5
I'm just
seconds.
trying to.
What are you looking up?
Dude,
I
what are you
wanted
trying
to
figure
see.
out?
I thought Dean Henderson was up there in clean sheets, and I'm looking. I thought.
All right. Well, you do that, and
You
let's
do-
move
yeah,
on
you
to the
do
next
that.
thing.
5 minutes
So-
from now, you get back to
No,
us.
it's right here.
So we had a full year of VAR.
Of VAR.
Boys,
Freaking-
what are our thoughts? I
He had
mean,
13.
if you listen to
Thanks, Bry.
what?
He had 13.
It was close.
This
It was
freaking
close.
guy.
Yeah, so we were very, mixed and on different
Split.
sides.
Hardly
yeah, split.
very,
on,
very.
on VAR going into the season, and we obviously had our our differences in it. But
For sure.
Garrett, I'll let you go first. What were your reaction to VAR this year? what's your
I was
reaction?
so going into the season. I was a person that felt it was good for the game. It made sense. It would avoid human error, and that was my problem. Is that the whole point of it was to avoid human error and catch mistakes, but that's not how it got implemented.
How do you feel now?
I think it's the stupidest thing in the world.
Hey, there he is. He's come around.
There's
I love
there's so many things wrong with it. In my opinion, the fact that a referee calls something on the field, but then a different referee can call something from a booth is the dumbest thing for me. Like, if it's refereed by one person, every decision should go through that same person, and that's not always what happens.
Well, yeah. I mean, you see one guy go in for a challenge, and the ref on the field, that's a red card. Ref's like, no, I don't think so. Like, you have two different definitions of what a red card is at that point.
It's
You're not on the same page.
It's just, for
Yeah.
me, one person should call the game. Like, they should go to the monitor. If there's a decision, they should go to the monitor every single time.
Yes,
As much as
I
I would
agree.
hate it, either take it out or they should go to the monitor every single time. Even though it's going to slow down the game, it's at least then it's a consistent base on these calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think they'll take it out now.
Oh, no.
I think it's
never
too
will,
far ingrained into
unfortunately.
it. But like to your point, it definitely needs to be fixed to minimize the amount of errors it's made because it's made a lot of errors this year.
Right.
I was looking up somewhere like it like VAR was responsible for like over 100 goals this year. Like
That's crazy.
Whether it was like
That's
calling
crazy.
someone offsides or like a handball or something like that, and the handball's the
Oh,
biggest one.
Oh, that is the worst.
Dude,
I forget
handball.
who it was, Tottenham or Liverpool or someone like.
City got screwed once by.
Was it City?
I think
Might have been
so.
City.
City versus Liverpool, maybe. I think
Yeah.
might have been.
Good, you know it better than.
It was the dumbest thing. This is literally what they said on the announcement, and the announcers were saying in the game. And to me, this just makes no sense. So if there's a handball at any point leading up to a goal, it is disallowed. And any even unintentional anything, if it touches a hand, it doesn't count.
At what point?
However, if a defender
I was gonna say, please.
in the
please go
same
there.
build-up
Let's go.
of play hits the ball with their hand unintentionally, it's not a penalty or a foul going the other way. How in the world does that make any sense?
It doesn't.
Like, how do you call it two? I understand, like you can't call offense and defense differently. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it just, for me, it just disrupts the game. And you can just tell, like, when players score now, they got to, look up to the monitor and see if the big VAR is showing on it. They have to run right to the ref. Like, it kind of kills the flow of the game for me. And, like, you're not going to get those great reactions after a goal or, like, you'll still get the celebrations, but it's just not the same, in my opinion.
Yeah, you react, and then you have, like, that sudden second of, like,
Was
shit.
I offside?
Here we
Did
go.
it hit my hand? Did it graze my fingertip?
Like, could you imagine, like, imagine the Aguero goal, like, when it happened,
Yeah.
and then you had to wait for, like, 20 seconds
Yeah,
to, like,
kills it.
make sure it was okay?
No, that's... And the Aguero goal is a very famous goal.
Like,
Shut
yeah, like,
up.
years ago.
Shut up.
like, the most famous goal probably in Premier League. But,
Just shut up.
but it's just, my
Just
point
shut
is,
up.
like, in that moment, all those fans would have gotten, like, that sick moment of enjoyment and then gone, holy crap, like,
Yeah.
does it count?
The other thing is, as a fan too, like, yeah, it sucks when your team gets scored on, but now I catch myself at the time, like, in the build-up of play, after the ball goes in, I'm like, oh, let me check. Come on, there's gotta be something. Like, I'm
okay,
rooting
yeah.
for it,
Yeah.
and yes,
it goes both ways, you're
I'm like,
right.
yes, my team just got scored on, but I mean, I hate doing that. I hate having to rely on them when in reality my team just sucks. But and when you have to, like, as a fan just watching the game, when you have to, like, start thinking, like, take a look. It, for me, even, like, it just takes everything out of the game. And again, it goes both ways, but it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. And the purpose
Done
is
with
to
it.
make the game more fair, which I
Done
would
with it.
argue it hasn't.
It's
So-
and oh god, I could go on for hours. The one other thing that drove me
It's like a 40-minute
crazy,
show. Jeez.
which I think we all can agree on, is the offsides calls by like a freaking half an inch.
Dude, millimeters.
And they're like, oh yeah, we draw these lines, and there's all
We draw these
computerized.
lines.
The problem is it's all computerized up to the point, although, is that a human has to decide
I
when
know.
the point of contact with the ball is. So it's not all computerized. So that little half a centimeter, if you would have gone one frame back on when he kicked the ball, he might not have been offside. So it's still human error.
Yeah, I'm glad you came to this side, Garrett.
It's driving me up
Glad
a
you came over
wall.
to the
Welcome.
good side.
We got a little loud there. We apologize.
We're gonna get a little loud.
It just drove me up a wall. So like you can't say it's not human error when a person is deciding when the ball is kicked, because it's such an arbitrary moment.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, now that we ranted about that for 5 minutes.
Any final takes on last season? It
It
feels
was
like
an interesting one.
Yeah, it feels like it was like 3 years ago because of the break and the gap in there. But
Yeah.
I don't know. If we don't, I mean, we could move right along.
Yeah, well, the one last comment was the best text you ever sent me probably was.
Oh God.
No, it was
I'm
when
scared.
it was like August 23rd, and the season was just ending, and you were like, "You realize we watched like the first games of this season a full calendar year ago?"
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, "That's like mind blowing to me."
But
that was just my last thought. Yeah, that was
yeah. So now we have the 2020-2021 season.
with hopefully no delays or
Yeah.
4-month gaps.
So as you just said, hopefully no delays or gaps. Just right off the bat, I know the EPL. They're not sure. They're gonna have fans in the stadiums.
I've heard October, maybe.
Okay, now,
Yeah.
do you think for the sake of the season they push it back just to get fans in there, or do you want them to start just where they finished, no fans?
I don't think they can push it back.
Especially with
Because
transfer.
of-
If they could.
Well, because the Euro is coming up and everything in the summer, they don't have that much space for because of international soccer.
Hypothetically.
Well, I'm just telling the facts.
I know. Okay. Hypothetically.
Hypothetically, you pretend nothing else matters.
Yeah. No, pretend nothing else mattered. If, as a fan, would you rather see it get delayed by a few months, even though it just ended, or you want to get right back into it?
Well, my thought on the question is, do you want them, even starting the season in September, do you want them to risk having fans in October if it causes another spread in Europe and then cancels another delay in the season? Like, is that worth the risk?
Yeah, it's so unknown.
Like, is it?
Yeah,
Do you play 2 months without fans to play it safe so you don't have to worry about another 4-month delay?
The only thing I can think of is they haven't had much of a break in off season, so it would give them more of an off season. Would give enough time to see if it calms down, if they can bring fans in, maybe have a couple preseason games and test it.
I mean, I like our opinions, but I mean, Chelsea and Burnley were already throwing fans in preseason games.
Yeah, only a few, but yeah.
So
Um,
it was just a thought,
yeah, but on top of that, going back to what I was saying before, Brian, because of the Euros and the international tournaments in the summer, another thing that happened was that I read was if there was a coronavirus outbreak in one of the teams during the season, they still need to field a team. They're not going to postpone the schedule, and they said the only way they're going to postpone it or cancel games is if they don't have 14 players that can play the game, and that includes their U21 squad and their younger squads.
saying young boys are getting chances this year.
So my opinion is,
actually.
I think the games are going to happen, and they're kind of forcing it to do it, and which kind of makes sense to me, but kind of sucks at the same time.
Oh, well, right, and I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, 2 players from Man City just tested positive this past week. Mahrez and Laporte both just tested.
Pogba was last week.
Yeah. I mean, so it's going to happen.
Still very much around.
Yeah, it's not. It's going to be a problem that gets dealt with all season.
Speaking of COVID and our teams and their young players, idiots.
Oh God,
Goddamn idiots.
Let's talk
They're
about
so dumb.
a quick
So
break
dumb.
off to
Little
talk
sidebar.
about.
Foden and Greenwood, what are you doing? How old are they? 19 each?
I think Foden might be 20.
Oh, and you're playing for the national team, and you decide to try and sneak girls in there and
Well,
break the
dumb
whole
and
thing. What are you doing?
My favorite part of the whole. Well, first of all, dude, Foden's got a girlfriend and a kid. Not only that, but literally, there's just a picture of his bare ass on the internet now forever.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah,
That
you
is
got
hilarious.
When you get a chance, look it up. It's really
I'm
funny.
looking that up later.
And he was the best is he was right before it came out, he's I'm so excited, I'm finally playing for the England squad, and then bam, thinking with the wrong head for a little while. There he was.
Hopefully that's a good lesson for them, though.
Go on, guys.
Thanks.
What did you say?
Like the video for that. And
I missed it,
podcast.
honestly. I'll have to watch that back later.
like and subscribe.
What was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
Something about Foden. I don't know.
Foden and Greenwood being idiots.
Oh, yeah, hopefully it was a good lesson for them, because obviously they've broken onto the scene this past year. 2 years ago, Foden's been a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But, now they're getting their international, debuts, and, now they have more responsibility, more eyes on them, so they need to, make sure their character's there. Dele Alli's gone through the same thing. So we won't touch on that, but...
that came out, and I was like,
Dumbasses.
what are you doing? Why?
But, yeah,
Be
so
smart.
hopefully they learn, but... And just a quick sidebar,
sidebar?
obviously our main focus is going to be Premier League, but we will talk about international soccer as well and things like that.
When things that are relevant, we comes up, it comes up,
Yep,
and that came up.
it did.
Unfortunately,
Those goddamn idiots.
dumbasses.
Oh, those idiots. I don't know what we're talking about. Well,
So-
that was a sidebar to something. What were we talking about?
Oh, we were talking about the
We're going to do that a lot,
COVID.
by the way. Just get off topic.
Yeah, we talked about COVID, but we can talk.
We
We talked
ramble.
enough about COVID. We can push past it. No one else wants to hear about it at this point.
Yeah.
So
So, season's coming up. What? few days.
Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah,
Today's Wednesday. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we're doing this
I
on
thought it was
Wednesday.
Thursday too.
We're all thrown off. But with the season coming up in 2 days, teams are making changes, bringing players in. Let's discuss. All start. Donnie Van de Beek's going to change United for the history of all United.
Dude, didn't he just have like the worst game of his life against Italy in like 2 days ago?
Yeah, but
They literally said he looked terrible.
But he wasn't playing with his team. That was his team. That
Oh
was
yeah,
the
put
real
him next to Pogba not trying. That'll help.
Even though it doesn't make sense because we needed other positions. We'll get into that. Best player in the world. But okay, in all seriousness.
I disagree, but
So
In all seriousness, I said now.
all right, so we'll
Get
move
serious.
on. Like I said, we wanted to talk about a little bit of everyone. So we talked a little bit before about Newcastle basically just raiding Bournemouth's roster to see if they could find someone.
yeah.
Did.
They got Wilson and they got Frazier. I think Frazier's going to be either a huge boom or bust this year.
Oh, he can go either way.
Yeah, I mean,
If he gets the time, I think he'll be okay.
I
yeah.
think he'll get it.
The problem is like 2 years ago, Frazier, 7 goals, 14 assists. Like I think led the league in assists that year.
Yeah.
a good player.
Was a stud, and everyone expected him to have a next year go huge again. And last year he had 1 goal and 4 assists.
Yeah,
Like, fell off a cliff.
He was even being linked to like some of the top 4 teams like after that breakout season.
Yeah.
And thank God they didn't because he got benched the next year and did
By Newcastle.
absolutely nothing.
By Bournemouth. I mean,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think to your point, could be hit or miss. Depends on if he gets the time. Depends on if Newcastle brings in some more people and they have someone who could score goals. But yeah, I think Callum Wilson will actually be a good addition. I think
he'll help them.
he's Premier League. He's been in the Premier League for a while for Bournemouth. He's scored a lot of goals.
yeah, and if Frazier plays, they have a connection that they've built
Yeah.
up over the years.
Yeah.
Newcastle's like such a weird team. Like everyone expects them to be good, but they never really. It's kind of like Everton, but a little bit worse. Like everyone expects them to be kind of good. They don't have as many big signings, but they just kind of fall in the middle ground.
Never thought that way.
With the Everton, but worse.
Yeah.
So it'll be big to see how Frazier. If he plays week 1. I mean, it's a pretty recent signing.
That's fucking smart.
He hasn't been with the team for a while now, so let's see if he gets just thrown in there. Shelby, he'll match up with Shelby, so we'll see how that goes.
But
But they also have St. Maximin too, who's actually really good.
Yeah, they have a lot of young, like unproven players. I feel like that.
wasn't there a guy that just came over? Almiron from the MLS?
Yeah, he's
like a
there
year or
too.
2 ago. He's not bad. But now, onto a team that I'm actually scared about.
I think Brian's just gonna see how far away from the microphone.
Yeah, I was stretching my back,
just
dude.
to make sure it's hard to hear.
We have 3 here. One of them should work. A team I'm actually kind of scared about is Chelsea.
Yeah.
Who they get? They just got
Everyone.
Havertz, Chilwell, Warner,
Warner.
and I'm not going to try the last name.
Ziyech.
That's
Ziyech.
it.
There it is.
On top
And
of
Chilwell. Did you
yeah,
say Chilwell?
Yeah, he did say
On
Chilwell.
top of
Okay.
Pulisic and whoever the hell. Oh my god.
I mean, they're a young, good team.
Wait, didn't they
Yeah.
just get?
They got
Nice.
Thiago Silva
Yeah, that's
too.
what I'm thinking of too. Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't go with the young part, but it's
No,
a good
but I was
experienced
thinking,
center back to bring in.
they're- When we get on later, like where we think teams are going to finish, I have them painfully high. I hate it. I hate it.
I think most people this year have a hitter. I mean, they don't. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with like the Abraham dynamic now with bringing in all these players. What?
Yeah, I was gonna. I didn't want to interrupt
know
you.
what you said.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but
Hey,
I was gonna
told you we're
say.
idiots, okay?
I feel bad
Not the
for
brightest.
those kids. I feel bad for Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, and guys like that, just because they weren't able to. They had the financial fail. Oh my God,
Fair play.
fair play.
There it is.
Or whatever, the transfer ban the
Yeah,
year
the
before, so
transfer
they couldn't
ban.
bring anyone in. So Lampard, in his first year, had to rely on the youth.
Built
and
that
they
youth.
Built that youth. Mount was a great player all year.
And then just said we're going to spend $140 million
Yeah, and now they're
this
kind
all
of kicked to the side. So I don't know. If that was me, I'd probably be like, all right, let me go to somewhere who, if they don't get the time this year, let me go somewhere else where I'm
Yeah.
appreciated.
That first lineup that comes out for Chelsea this year is
big.
going to be one of the biggest things to look at, I
But
think, in my opinion.
that
He can
also
come to United if he wants.
that also
I need
brings
him.
up the thing is
don't need him, but-
Lampard going to start doing like a Pep kind of situation where he like
Super
rotates the
rotate?
team. Yeah.
Where you never know who's going to play
Yeah.
ever, because that's just how freaking annoying it is as a fan to not know.
Yeah,
One-
but it's good though.
What?
I would like that to have that.
What?
I like be able to rotate players whenever you want.
Well, yeah, but your team sucks and doesn't have depth.
Hey, yeah, they do.
Who?
God damn it. Why do you guys? Why do
Oh,
you guys do
sucks.
like
I thought you meant they had depth. I'm like, where?
No, kind of. No, we don't.
Do you had? All right,
don't.
next.
But-
Moving on.
Well, I want to talk about how you think they'll do this year, though, like the signings,
Chelsea.
because there's obviously a lot of eyes on Havertz, a lot of eyes on Werner. Like, do you think they'll live up to their potentials? I think it's a very hit or miss here.
It might be a team that builds momentum as the season goes on. I mean, they're new to playing with each other,
Yeah.
and I'm sure with the whole COVID thing, they haven't had enough time to really get to know and play with each other. But good players find ways to play good no matter who's around them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really going to be how they perform. It's also a new setting. You know, they're not coming from other Premier League teams. I mean, Chilwell is, but the rest of them are coming from different leagues, different. So it's going to be a big transformation of maybe how their style of play is. But I think again, like good players play good. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes.
Speaking of good players, Werner had like 30-something goals last year and like 7 assists. So I think he's primed to have a big season.
Dude knows where the goal is.
Yeah. Yeah. So should be. I'm definitely excited to watch a couple of their games.
Yeah,
I'm not a Chelsea fan, but definitely would love to see how they do this year.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a highly watched season for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Who else we got?
Underrated signing is the next one on the list.
Really?
I thought Doherty at Tottenham is going to be a good fit in.
I just think Tottenham sucks, and then when he goes there, his career's gonna die.
Well, that's a
Am I biased again?
A little bit.
Yeah, well.
I should be the one biased of anyone.
Yeah, no, he's an Arsenal fan.
I don't know. Mourinho's there. I don't like him anymore.
Doherty Tottenham
Screw him.
had possibly one of the greatest signing videos to ever be posted on
that
all
was
of
so
social
good.
media.
So good.
All of social
So
media.
good.
For those of you that did not see it,
Go
go look first of all, but I'll give you the brief explanation. So like back in the day, Doherty must have been a die-hard Arsenal fan and like was not shy about it. Like put it out on social media, put it out on Twitter.
I love Arsenal. I'll always be an Arsenal supporter.
Yeah, so Tottenham's social media team, absolute legends.
Killed it on that one.
Literally had him go on a computer and delete the tweets in an announcement video, which to me is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
It's so good.
It's the only good thing Tottenham's done that I respect.
Someone deserves a raise for that.
Yeah, whoever their head of their social
He
media,
should take over from Mourinho.
their PR guy
be
is
honest.
right there.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I don't see him playing that great there.
I mean, he played great for Wolves.
Maybe Mourinho likes to park the bus.
He had a couple of good goals. He had a couple of assists. He played well. He wingbacked. He's a good player.
I think like some of Frazier. I think he's going to be hit or miss. You're going to notice him out there, or you're not. Or he's going to get blown by every time.
Yeah, that point was what you said before. Like he was a wing back for Wolves. Like he obviously had a lot of assists, got up and down the field. But I think if I'm correct, Marino plays more of like a 4 in the back. So like I don't know if he's going to be charging up as much, and he might be forced back more. So I don't know. I don't know how he is as like an actual defender. I know him as like the wing back pushing up, getting assists and things like that. So I guess he'll be tested on like the defensive end this year. So I think it's definitely a good signing still. I think it has the potential because I don't know. I think Aurier is questionable of leaving or not. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested.
I want to keep an eye on early on in the season. I mean, I would wish we'll talk more about Tottenham, but I didn't really do much else.
Yo, the next note we put on here.
Oh yeah, dude, this is sick. This is an underrated signing possibly, and for a team that finished low in the table last year in Villa.
Dude, I didn't realize you put the stat next to it.
Yeah.
26 goals in the championship. None of those were PKs or free kicks.
Yeah, dude, all on the run of play.
I don't know if you mentioned his name, Ollie Watkins.
Oh, yeah, Ollie
Hell.
Watkins. Just got signed almost, I think, yesterday or today was the signing got announced.
Yeah, within 24 hours.
Villa, whose leading scorer last year, I think was Grealish.
Wesley or something? Or
Was it
I thought it was Grealish.
Oh, it might have been Grealish. I don't know. But, like, their striker was Wesley, and he was brought in to score goals. He did not. I think their leading scorer last year was Grealish, who is not a striker.
Not the old guy?
So, I mean, he was in the division lower, but, I mean, 26 goals is nothing to, like, snuff at. Like, that's a good season. And again, none on PKs, none on free kicks, all on the run of play. And if you have someone feeding you the ball and playing next to you that's as talented as Grealish is, interesting to watch. Yeah. I think it's going to be a big signing for them. They got to have someone that's going to score goals.
Yeah, and I think he led his team to, like, they were in the championship playoffs. Like, I think they were in the finals, but lost to Fulham, I think it was, in the
I can't remember
one.
what team he played for. It was
Benford or Brentford.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they also had someone else, Benrahma, who's been linked with a lot of, like, I think he was the player of the year in the championship. So, apparently they have some good players who they're passing through to the Premier League now.
It's gonna be because I think Villa was also in the running for Wilson before the Newcastle signing. So they're trying to get someone to score goals.
They also got a goalie too. They just got
Who, Villa did?
Areola from PSG.
Yeah, I didn't actually see that.
Yeah,
but
they just got it today. I think it was a loan with an option to buy. So
I mean, so you can see Villa is not. They're trying to stay up. I mean, that's their goal. They were right on the border last year. So they're making some signings to see if that changes. I mean, Ollie Watkins
I don't think
He's got a sick name too, by the way.
Yeah.
Ollie
I
Watkins.
do like that name.
Like that's pretty cool.
Next we have Rodrigo to Leeds, the newly promoted side.
So that's a big signing for a team that
For Leeds?
just got promoted.
That's huge.
But the difference between normal teams that get promoted and Leeds is that Leeds has such a history already and a fan base.
They have a big fan base.
I'm actually excited to watch some of those games.
This is I hate going back to COVID, but the no fans thing, I think if any team is going to be affected by it, it's going to be them. Like, I think if their fans were there in the beginning, the amount of energy that would be in that stadium for their first time back in the Premier League would be unmatched by any team.
I don't know.
But they just signed. I mean, he was playing striker for Spain in the friendly the UEFA Nations League game they just had. So I mean, he's a good player. It's kind of a random signing, but
it's big for them. Their fans should be excited. Dan, William to Arsenal.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either. It was a great signing.
I mean, yeah, he's towards the end of his career, but he's 31. He still has at least 2 good years in him. And I think, from what I've heard, Arteta might play him as like a 10. Like, he might play like as a creative center, like mid, which I'd be okay with. That way you still have Pepe and maybe give Saka a chance on the outside.
Yep.
We'll go into all the tactics. But I think he's like I'm happy. I mean, he's a good player. He's Premier League proven. He's
you would think Chelsea fans. You would think the guy sat on the bench and was 55 years old by the time they let go. Like, I don't understand. Like, he was a good player that was productive. Sometimes he kind of has like the Ozil situation where he like doesn't seem like he's really caring or giving. But maybe he's just tired of Chelsea's crap. Like, who the hell knows?
Yeah.
But he's a fast player that can make stuff happen. He's a good winger when he plays on the outside. Arsenal can use any help at this point that they can get.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't create much last year. I mean, Aubameyang was just scoring, a lot of solo goals and things like that. So I think if we can add more creativity to the front three, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I thought it was a no-brainer. I don't know. I thought it was a good signing.
Yeah,
Brian's
and for free.
Here.
Yeah, and I was getting ready for
45 minutes later discussion over here, but it's a free transfer.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't pay anything for him besides his wages. So
Brian's over here going Van de Beek and unproven player, and you got what?
But before we move off Arsenal, they did make some defensive signings too, which I think are definitely big for them. They needed it. They 100% needed it. Anyone knows that? Like, one of the worst defenses in the league last year. So they signed Gabriel Magalhaes. I don't know.
And the first game of the season, they're going to just trout out David Luiz right in the middle.
I think he's injured anyway, so
he's going to get another red card and give a PK.
I love it.
Just like we know.
It's like the David Luiz hat trick. Yellow card, red card, PK.
He's so bad. He's so bad. I love it.
And last signing that we're going to talk about.
Genuinely surprised me. Wasn't ready for it at all.
Let's talk about the whole team.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, the team that we are good signings. Let's see what happens.
I guess I just didn't see anything leading up to it or any of the rumors.
All right, let's say what it is. It's Everton.
Oh, yeah, it's Everton.
It's James for Everton.
We literally just...
We just start getting into it. But no, I haven't seen... I said, the reason it surprises me, I haven't seen anything leading up to it. Maybe that's why. But
the rumor mill.
I haven't seen any of the rumors. But as soon as I was on Twitter and as soon as I saw it announced, I was like, wait, what? And I did mention this to them the other day. Scored a great scissor kick goal in practice. I know it's against other Everton players, like you said. Still pretty damn cool.
Only a Man U fan would talk about a goal in practice. We ain't talking about the game.
That's all the goals we can get.
We ain't talking about the game.
Practice?
Practice? Talk about practice.
But I think I saw something the other day.
Shout out to AI.
I think I saw something the other day that... Yeah, he's not watching this.
No, he's not.
Oh, boy.
There was I think I saw that, like, Carlo Ancelotti, like, he signed James Rodriguez on 3 separate occasions on Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and
Everton. This can only go well.
Yeah, so we'll see.
He's trying to get his boy, man.
Yeah, but on top of James, like, obviously he's a great player. Interested to see how he does in the Premier League, but they made other signings as well, like Decore from Watford. He's a really good, holding midfielder. They got Allen, I think his name is, from Napoli. I even saw them linked with Bale. Like, could you imagine him?
If they get Bale,
he's kind of annoying. By the way, Bale's the troll of the century. So
my
God!
But,
his wages are insane.
Dude, he literally plays for Real, makes like $150K a week, and plays golf.
Oh, it's more than that.
Well, the higher.
It's way more than that. I think
dude,
it's like
300K.
600.
It's
He
so
sits
stupid.
on the bench and puts his mask over his eyes and pretends to take a nap. He's awesome.
Literally,
I love this dude.
It's on the golf course more than he's.
Wales, golf, Madrid, in that order, will forever be one of the greatest pictures in all
so
of.
good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Another famous one of our rants. We just
But
go way off topic.
he's the best though. He's a legend, and he golfs.
So yeah,
Savage.
to wrap that up, that was James to Everton. So back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, James.
Good
But
for
like
them.
to be honest, he played one good year at Real and then kind of underperformed.
I think
when
he'll
he
help-
went.
he'll help them.
So
He'll help them.
So,
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a while. So I'm curious to see what happens here.
Any other transfers? Big, small, medium, large. We got nothing else on our rundown here.
There's really nothing else. I mean, City signed Fernando Torres and they signed somebody else. I can't think of right now.
We're still pushing for
Ake,
Sancho.
thank you,
We're
Nathan
still,
Ake
we're
from
still
Bournemouth.
pushing for Sancho. That's not going to happen, though.
Yeah, Man U's gonna
Apparently
get
they-
Sancho and Bale
Well,
and
apparently
Jesus.
no. Apparently they
and-
have a deal done, but it's the agent fees now. The agent wants a ton more money than they want to give them. They're like, nope. See ya.
Only Man U would be like, no, the agent can't get an extra million. Screw him.
He wants like an extra 10 million. Get out of here.
Bro, if he's a good player, that should not be the design.
We have too many forwards.
Yeah.
We have too many forwards. I'll take them though. I mean, well.
Yeah, work on your defense first.
Yes.
Oh, no. Okay,
Dude,
so
your center
next
back's
on
in prison.
So next on the
No.
my god,
All
I
right.
forgot he's in jail.
You're too loud, bro. Bring it down.
No,
like
I'm
a,
yelling.
like a notch and a half.
I'm gonna keep yelling.
Don't yell. But yeah, can we talk about your center back's in prison? So let's just. You know who I am? Yeah, you in prison. That's literally what happened.
You know. Moving on. Yeah.
All right, moving on.
We
We
already
can skip.
talked. We already talked about VAR.
Yeah.
We're gonna skip the jerseys.
No, we're not going to skip the jerseys.
because our third kit is trash.
So
It's
I
horrendous,
believe
dude.
we have it listed as they fire or fails.
Fire
and
fail. So I have them right here. I don't know if you guys can see them.
We have them.
We're gonna look at them real quick. Both of Arsenal's fire.
That's a hard no on the second
Oh,
one.
I like
Dude,
that
they
one.
look like a marble countertop.
I think it's cool.
Honestly, didn't like it at first. It grew on me when I saw him with the shorts.
The shorts were a nice addition.
I think it's cool.
It's burgundy and it actually kind of looks sick.
But those
I'm
of you-
not a huge fan of it, but like, I think it saves it a little
I
bit.
really like.
Home
really
kits
like
are
this
sick.
one.
I love the
Yeah.
home kits.
On the video, we'll put the picture of the jersey up so you guys can see it. So
Yeah.
if you're on YouTube, you can see it. It's gonna be right here.
Right here.
But the problem,
Ryan Garrett's face.
it literally looks like they're bleeding.
Nah, those are sick.
When I first saw it, I'm like, oh, it looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
blood streaks on the jersey. Like,
That's exactly what it looks like.
yeah.
So fire fail.
I think fail. You said fire.
I say both fire.
Arsenal's
Are
first
we
jerseys
just
are
saying-
very nice.
I'm going fire.
I'm
for
gonna
both.
say fire.
For both.
Yeah.
Oh, fire both.
Their third
Alright.
kids came out. I'm not a huge fan of them either.
Alright.
But
Villa's literally not
Fails.
even
They're
mentionable.
the
They're
same.
just
Yeah,
the
they're
average
same.
and
I
stuff.
love, I love Brighton's home jerseys. I love,
blue-
and the away are sick. Honestly, big fans of them.
Oh, I'm gonna throw. Up
I
a boat.
like the blue with the white collar. The yellow and the blue collar for me is a fail. I'm not a
fans.
fan.
Big
I'm gonna
fan.
go a big no to both. I don't know why. I don't
Oh,
like
I
the white
love
collar.
I don't like collars, but I
I don't like
like
collars.
the blue look.
I love it.
The black one's pretty cool.
Black one's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's nice.
So half.
Nope. No.
dude,
No.
The problem.
Okay, Chelsea, by the way. Oh my God, they're all
Okay.
disgusting.
The problem with the Chelsea jersey is the sponsor, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but dude, that 3 is the ugliest thing.
Dude, their third kit with the weird orange with the blue and the.
It's Crystal Palace. You see what they said on
doing?
like Twitter the other day?
No.
Oh, it was like something like I forget what the hashtag was that Chelsea put up. Like I forget what it was, but Crystal Palace responded basically saying like, "Oh, you copied us. Like this is our jerseys."
We'll put that in there later. Ooh.
Palace kind of
the black one's kind
The
of
black's
cool.
kind of cool.
I'm not a fan. They're the same design, just different.
I don't.
color
Yeah, I don't
patterns.
like. I don't like the first two. I like the black one though.
Black one looks cool. I
Yeah.
think black jerseys
Oh,
just
so
look
we're
nice in
agreeing
general.
fail to all three on the Chelsea.
Yeah,
right?
Chelsea
Okay.
jerseys suck this year.
I'm gonna go fail for the two, the home and away. The black one's cool for.
keep
for
going.
Palace.
Everton.
I don't like
I
the
kinda like
yellow.
them.
Oh, dude, that mint.
I kind of
Dude,
like
that
all
mint
mint
is
one's
the
sick.
mint is fire.
I don't like the yellow.
Dude, the mint is sick.
Mint. I like the little arrows kind of. What was those going down like his shoulders? Those are kind of cool.
Yeah. Dude,
But, yeah,
dude,
mint's
I'm all
cool.
on the mint. The mint is fire.
It's cool. Leeds. I
Uh,
like the white. Simple. I like it.
yeah, I mean,
The other one was that. Is that like navy?
They
and,
look like
greenish,
Newcastle-ish,
or- Yeah, they
but,
kind of do. But they're okay.
all right.
We're definitely showing these on the screen, right?
Yeah,
Just
we're gonna
make
pull
sure
them-
we're
we're gonna
gonna
pull them
see
up,
what
we'll
I'm
pull them up,
talking
we'll pull
about with no context, but
If you guys aren't, if you guys are listening to this in a podcast, look up the jerseys afterwards. You'll see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Or watch the
you
video.
can just go watch Premier
Or
League
watch
and
the
Pints
video.
on YouTube.
Yes, Premier League and
It's
Pods
up
on
to you.
YouTube. Premier League
Um,
and Pints, not Premier
I
League and
said Pints.
Pods. You said Pods.
Listen, we're gonna stew back.
Alright.
Pints.
We're not going to stupid.
No, we're
we'll
not.
figure it out. Leicester is
Same,
classic.
they're the
It's
same.
the same. I hate the green on the Liverpool jersey.
I actually don't mind it.
I don't. Why? You're not green.
I
How
don't
do
know.
you? What about this one?
What's that, Liverpool?
It looks
That's
like a
Liverpool's
goalie
third
jersey,
kit, maybe?
honestly.
That's what I was
I think
thinking.
is it a third kit or away?
I think it's third. No, it's away. It says
Away.
away. A traditional away green color.
What a
Why?
mo-
Since when are they green?
That's blue.
I don't know. It's aqua. All right, moving on.
I
hate 2 of 3 cities jerseys. That's the next ones to pull up. 2 of them are fails.
the home and away.
The away is fire, in
The
my
home
opinion.
Black
and
one?
The third.
I love the black
The
one.
third kit might be one of the worst jerseys ever
Yo,
designed.
literally, they look
There's
Like
one jersey.
mitochondria.
Yo, it's literally
There's one
mitochondria.
jersey that can compete as the worst one I've seen so far, and we'll get to them.
Yeah,
We'll get to
It's gonna be the
them.
next, I think.
But no, they're the black one.
The black
I
one's
hate
fire.
City, but those are,
That's
I like
the one
I like the blue.
That's the one I ordered for this year. So
United, I like the two, the red and the
they're
black.
plain, they're fine.
They're simple.
Yeah. Dude, they look like zebras.
The zebra
awful.
one.
Bro, it is terrible.
It is so bad. Why?
So I
Who
saw
thought of it?
I saw plain, and I was like, "Ee." Then I saw it like kind of as a full kit, and I was like, "That's even worse."
Yes.
I don't know why
it
this
didn't
was
get better.
worse.
So fail.
2 out of 10. The only other one
I
that
go
was
less.
Maybe a 1 out of 10.
the 1 out of 10 goes to that weird mitochondria looking thing that you guys got over there.
It was rough.
Newcastle, I like the home.
It's,
I like the blue. I don't know
Newcastle's
why.
fine.
I don't like. I'm not a big green
Lime green's
fan of
alright.
it.
Chef.
Sheffield.
Yo, what pink? They got pink.
We used to have one of those.
Pink?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Man U.
Yeah, the weird
It
Band-Aid
was like
pinkish.
beige.
Yeah. Ooh.
Southampton, I kind
I
of like the
love
stripe.
Southampton.
Yo,
Oh,
kinda,
I love
yo,
Southampton.
the blue one is kind of sick.
I'm a big
South-
fan of Southampton's.
Southampton
Okay.
is
Oh,
That's
the
sick.
white one.
straight fire.
That is sick.
Yeah, Southampton might win jersey
Swear
of
to
the
God.
year.
If you guys
I might
don't
get
go
an
look
Inks
at these-
jersey in that.
Oh, if you guys are listening, and you don't go look at these, you're missing out because we're
Yeah,
watching.
Southampton's fire.
Terrible.
I like.
We're top.
I think it's fine.
That's
What are those
okay.
shoulder pads? Why?
You're bleeding, okay? You can't talk.
Why are they wearing shoulder pads?
Why are you bleeding?
No, I didn't design it.
We're zebras. And you guys are mighty
I think
That's
they're
fine.
fine.
It's okay, we're zebras.
That one's fine.
I kind of like the
Kind of like
green,
the green.
actually.
I don't like the yellow.
I don't like. Well, I think the problem is the guy in the picture looks like he weighs 50 pounds soaking wet, so it didn't really help the design.
Ooh.
that's
That's-
so
that's-
bad.
Joe, that is
no.
disgusting.
West Brom's like blue one I can be okay with, but this green
at the
crap.
third kit.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Oh my god.
No.
I like Puma, but that's awful, man.
No.
It's like someone just threw colors in like Microsoft Paint and like draw lines and threw colors in there.
West Ham's first one, pretty basic.
Yeah, they're usual. They. I kind of like the blue.
Oh, the
black.
black.
Black's nice. Again, every
Different.
black jersey looks nice. I feel like.
Wolves are nice. I like wolves.
I don't know. Not an orange guy.
I mean, that's their color.
Very
You know?
traditional.
Oh, that one's cool.
I don't like that.
I think
Yo,
I-
they look like those paper cups you used to drink out of as a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
You're not wrong.
Yeah, they do.
That's all we got.
That's
Uh-huh.
That's very cool.
So some hits, a lot of miss.
A lot of
Yeah,
miss
a lot
this
of
year.
miss.
I think people are trying to go too creative with some of their
Those can be
jerseys
fun for
nowadays.
that
Yeah.
video. That's gonna hit me.
All right, so we'll move on. We have next on the list of things to run down our top 4 and bottom 3. I think 2 of the top 4 are
How long have we been
givens.
going, by the way? I
The
feel like
next
we're
2
killing
or
this.
3 are probably the 3 and 4 are probably the more.
We're crushing this.
Brian,
Same.
pat yourself on the back a little bit more.
I'm patting us on the back. It's a team effort.
Go ahead, Brian. You start us off.
All right.
Thank you. Which were we doing first?
Top
Bottom?
four.
Top
4. Any order?
Go first to last, or first to fourth.
Yeah.
All right. City in first. Chelsea in second. Liverpool in third. United in fourth.
There's an ant crawling, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Whatever. So.
Wait, why is that funny? I literally told you.
What are you talking about? I didn't.
You
say
gave me a-
anything. I didn't laugh. You're lying, dude.
What? Oh, who's getting fourth other than
Can you say it
United?
again? Who got? So it was
It was City,
City.
Everton. No, Everton. Oh my God.
City,
Everton.
Chelsea, Liverpool, United.
Okay.
Okay, but it's pretty much very similar. It's City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham.
Wow,
In my opinion.
that is bold.
What did you do before you get here? What kind of drugs?
A lot of them.
Yeah, you might.
Maybe the one beer is getting to me.
Yeah, you might.
I think that's. I honestly, I think Tottenham has a better year this year. That's my opinion.
Moving on. Dan?
I'm gonna go Liverpool, City, Chelsea, United.
So we all have Chelsea pegged right for third at least.
No, you got him second.
I'm second.
Oh, not bad, not bad.
I think they were good this year. That's why I'm annoyed.
That-
But,
I mean, yeah,
We're doing bottom 3 here?
yeah. I mean,
So
bottom
bottom
3 is so
three-
tough, but could be anyone. I feel
Oh, see what his phone on. What a jerk.
Yeah, it's time to pay my car loan.
Oh, you only get it here on the show. Bottom 3. Oh, this is tough.
like. Dude, just pick 3 teams.
West Ham,
Bold.
Fulham,
Easy.
and West Brom.
I'm gonna go Brom, Palace, Fulham. I think is my 3.
I forgot about Palace.
Okay.
Nah, I think they stay up.
Dan.
Yeah, I'm pretty clear on Fulham and West Brom. The other ones where it gets tricky. I could see Palace, but
Burnley. You've torched them for 25
Burnley.
minutes. So.
Get off their back.
I don't know. Maybe Brighton.
Hey, Brighton.
I don't know. I think that third one's gonna be a good battle. Like we have the battle at the top.
right.
It's gonna be a nice battle to.
Like it was the
get
same
out
as
of
this
there.
year. Norwich was dead.
Yeah.
And then that other one, Villa just barely made it out at the end.
Yeah, the last game. Yeah, Bournemouth went down.
Before we jump into specific players and coaches while we're still on teams and where they're gonna finish, who is your surprise team to make a run?
This year,
Yeah, this year.
Leeds.
I got one.
Oh, that was mine too.
I think Leeds is gonna be.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be good.
I
Same
think
one?
they're just gonna be like a fan favorite.
Same one?
No,
Oh, who you got?
Southampton.
Danny Ings.
Danny Ings.
I think
We gotta
they,
get Dan a Danny Ings jersey or something.
please do. I think I would love it, especially that third kit. I think they could push
fire.
like top 6 if they have a good year.
That means Arsenal's dropping like 9.
I don't know.
They were 8th last year, so they get 7th. I'm happy. It's an improvement. I mean, that's who I think. I mean, like, actually, I pulled this up before. Fun fact for you.
Who's that? Yeah.
So after Project Restart, Southampton took the 3rd most points out of all the teams in the league.
Good job, bro.
Killed it.
Taking 18 points. Only United and City had more. So they're in a good
Who's the first
form.
team?
They changed some stuff up.
First team you said?
What? Really, you're gonna make me go back just to say
Yes.
Man City?
No, the other Manchester team that you said. I'll take all I can get.
But yeah, I think they're riding like a high wave right now. They have obviously good players. If they can get Ings and Che Adams to click, and Ward-Prowse is a really good center mid. I think they can surprise some people this year.
We'll see.
One to watch for.
We will see.
I'm still sticking with Leeds.
We'll see.
And obviously, Newcastle's over the dark horse team. I just throw that in there all the time.
So I think we did young players enough.
Yeah,
I don't think
we
we
did.
talk about that again. Coaches on the hot seat's gonna be a fun one.
Mourinho.
I think we had the first one we had was Mourinho. They underperformed last year.
10 out of 10.
I think if they don't make Champions League this year, he's
Done.
gone. I think. In
I
my
agree.
opinion, I wouldn't
I
be
agree.
surprised.
I think if they're
thought.
not like
Competitive.
7th or higher going into like the Christmas break, I think he might be out even then.
You're going
Yeah,
early on.
I think so,
I
yeah.
agree. I can see
They brought him
being
in
out.
for a clear reason, and
He ain't
if
doing
they
it.
don't make any changes, I mean, they fired Pochettino, which is very controversial. I feel like
Very amazing. He hasn't been.
I think he's taking his time. Like he could literally get any job
He
he
could
wants.
go
Well,
Well,
yeah. First, whatever. If any top team fires someone in the Premier League, he's the
Gosh.
first option every time.
Yeah. Well, if it's you said top team. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I think Mourinho's a hot one. I put Ancelotti on this list only because I feel like the expectation for Everton is always so high, and they run through coaches like I run through underwear. Like it's a daily thing. Like, just saying.
Okay.
Oh, the next one on here.
Yo, we gotta go to Ancelotti. What happened? Come on. Dude.
I mean, I agree. They suck. You're right. I mean, I feel like they should have a new coach every month.
Brian-
They should have a new coach every month.
Brian
Let's
just
be honest.
roasts them.
No, they're trash.
I
They're
mean,
dog shit.
yeah,
I'll
I
tell you.
think he's
They
on the
suck.
hot seat.
The worst. I agree. You have Pep on here?
I do have Pep on here.
Can I ask why?
I'm not going to be he hasn't.
I don't
hasn't-
agree with that.
I mean, they haven't made a Champions League run yet. That's been formidable.
I keep forgetting shit like about Champions League
and
too.
last year,
Nick
I
Rose
mean,
and
they got second, but they got second by 15 points. It wasn't like it was they
Yeah.
were fighting.
Well, you got.
He's coming towards the end of his contract anyway. And I love Pep. Like these two will know that I'm the biggest Pep fan there is.
Guy.
Like I'm being realistic at this point with a team that has the expectations that they do. I mean, luckily they didn't get the Champions League ban because that would have been a nightmare.
It's rigged.
Shut up. But I think he deserves to at least be on the list, in my opinion.
Yeah, I could see where you're coming from. I think what got it for me was the Champions League run. I think they're doing fine in the Premier League, like the FA Cup and everything like that. But when it comes to Champions League, yeah, they haven't had like a good
run,
solid
yeah.
run.
I mean, they lost to. Who did they just lose to? Was it not Napoli? Was it?
I don't know.
No. They lost to Lyon.
Really?
Champions League, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh crap.
So.
And it's not like he hasn't won anything since he's been there. He's won the league twice.
Won the league
Yeah,
twice.
he
Broke the
won
points
FA
record.
Cup. Yeah,
I mean,
but like obviously City have higher expectations now with
right.
Champions League, and obviously I think that's your point of why he's on this list.
Pretty much, yeah. I think that's.
But to that point, if they get rid of Pep, who would they bring in, and would players leave because of it? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of players at this point have connections with him, and they feel strongly But
Messi certainly wouldn't come. If he
yeah,
was-
that's just lose out on that battle.
No, you put the last one on here. We have Ole.
I did put Ole.
I'm gonna try not to be
I have another name
biased
after
here.
this. Sorry, but go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try not to be biased here. Yes, they haven't won the league in God knows how long. They're finally back in Champions League. They haven't won anything in a while. The only case I can make for him, again, I would agree he's probably in the hot seat. The only case I can make for him is he has a young team, and he's trying to build from the ground up with a young team. And if you bring in a new manager, say half of the year, end of the year, and you sell these young players who start to perform a little bit, then you're kind of just ruining everything, and it's a whole waste of money. That's the one thing that I feel like if he was to not win anything this year, and if it's another mediocre top 4 finish, and they get out of the group stage in Champions League, but that's it. I think you keep him around just because of all the young players that he has and that the team he's trying to build. That's my only argument for keeping him there.
Yeah, and my thing is I think it's just inconsistency for him. I feel like
I agree.
United has runs where they're really good and then runs where they're really bad. They're really good after the restart, obviously.
Yeah.
They were up there in points taken after, but they've also
the beginning of the year too. They started the first 4 games, I think, winning by 3 each game.
Yeah, and then they
after
kind of died off for a while. So it's
you're right. I agree.
consistency is a big thing. But yeah, I think he definitely should be on the hot seat, but I think he also should be given time.
Yeah,
And
that's my thoughts
Yeah.
exactly. You put it the way
I agree.
could.
I don't have anything else to say. That was pretty good.
Anybody else?
Dan said he had
Oh,
one.
yeah, Lampard.
I knew it. I freaking knew it. I was literally gonna say it right before. I'm like,
100%.
I know the last person.
100% Lampard.
If
Yeah,
they don't
yeah,
do
yeah.
something this year with that team,
I mean, they
They've
just spent
just
so
been-
much money.
out.
But,
Yeah.
but what's the line? Like, what do we think the line is? So
They need to get Champions League. If
You
they
think-
don't get Champions League, I can
Champions
see
League
him
for
being
them.
out. They just
Yeah.
spent a shit ton of money. Expectations are so high on him. He might be losing younger players out now because of
Yeah.
what he's doing in the transfer window. I just think his name should definitely be on there. And I think if they don't perform, he's gone. at
It's
the end of the
crazy.
year.
It's crazy for any coach now because it's the expectation can't even be title because the top 2 teams are just it just seems lately so head and shoulders above everyone else. It's can we just squeak into the top 4? Is basically the line of success at this point, except for those 2 teams, obviously.
Yeah, the team he has, they have to do something, right?
But who knows? This year could be something
Gotta
totally
do
different.
That's the thing. If the players don't mesh and they don't click on the field,
Money
Who
doesn't
knows?
buy everything.
yeah. Yeah. They still are pretty frail in the back, I feel like. Chilwell is good going forward, but I don't know if he's the best defender in the world. But if they're playing the 4 in the back again, he might be playing more defensive. And Thiago Silva, obviously up there in age, but other than that, I don't think they have a great defense. Rudiger's very inconsistent.
Oh, yeah.
Zuma sucks.
Zuma was awful.
Yeah.
Yikes.
If you look up just ass in the dictionary, it is a picture of Zuma.
Yeah. And Conte doesn't get enough love. I just feel like we need
I
to throw
love
that
Conte.
out. He's such a good player.
Yeah, he really doesn't.
How was the game out there, Conte? It was good.
Oh my God.
We played a good game, too. We played a good game.
What else we got, boys?
I just put this up there because, as a City fan, I will be the first one to say all I do is bitch about our defense. Pretty much all the time.
I think for the first time we can agree on something. My defense sucks too.
We lead the league in goals every year. That's not an issue. And I'm always like, our defense sucks, our defense sucks, our defense sucks. We need better defenders, our defense sucks. And then you look at the table from last year, and we literally had the second best goals against in the league, and we're 3 behind Liverpool, who everyone trouts around as this defensive masterpiece of a team. So is it is the problem overstated just because they just didn't compete last year, or is it a problem?
I feel like it's there's definitely players that are liabilities back there. Otamendi, just one.
Otamendi is garbage.
And Mendy. So
also garbage.
I feel like with City, they obviously they keep a lot of clean sheets with Ederson, winning the Golden Glove last year.
Right.
But I also feel like there's games where they let up 2-3 goals. They either keep a clean sheet or let up multiple goals.
But like you said, I'm talking about their defense, but when they do let up multiple goals, they're still scoring 7 or 8 a game anyway.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Yeah, it's just crazy. If you would have said to me that City was only had 3 more goals against than Liverpool did last year, I would have thought you were nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
Oh,
like I said, it's just crazy because you get the 2 perspectives where people think Liverpool, and they are Liverpool is a great defensive team, but then you look at the stats and it's they were literally let in 3 less goals.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, was Liverpool the season before where they were like really good defensively, or was it the last season? Honestly,
I mean, both they were really good.
Together
2 years ago was the year that they were like.
That's when Van Dijk.
I think they won Van Dijk won Player of the Year.
Yeah, I think they dropped off a little bit defensively this year, and we can get back on what like the difference was in goals against.
Yeah.
For the 2 years, but I feel like they might have been better the previous year, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's just funny. Like you don't think about like. I mean, like I said, as a City fan watching the games, like there's obviously issues. Like, first of all, Stones and Otamendi should never touch a soccer field on the same team ever again. They're just an embarrassment.
At least you don't have Luis.
We don't have Luis, which is like always a positive on everything.
At least your center backs aren't in prison.
That's true.
Yeah,
and so we don't have Luis, and our center back's not in prison. So I guess we're doing better than you guys.
And the center back that's in prison is apparently our captain. So,
you know who I was surprised? They're super random that didn't go anywhere this offseason was the Leicester. The center back with long hair. I can't think of his name right now.
What team?
It's Leicester center back.
Oh, Soyuncu.
He was
That's a name.
Soyuncu.
That's a name.
He was rumored to go with a bunch of different teams and just didn't hear anything else. Like,
Didn't he get team of the season this year?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was like him and Van Dijk were center backs.
Like it was almost like going to be like
He's
the
a good
Maguire
player.
situation all over again. Where like Maguire played great for Leicester, signed to a bunch of teams and got arrested.
Shut up.
That dude is surprisingly fast.
Assholes.
Who?
Soyuncu.
Yeah, I got this guy like blowing into his microphone next to me.
I'm right here
can't hear
singing.
anything.
I'm right here singing a song.
But yeah, Soyuncu is stupidly fast,
Yeah.
All right.
and he's not in prison.
Okay. On that note,
always a
let's
positive.
wrap this up. Episode number 1 here. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
I don't. I hope
Season
you
starts in 3
enjoy
days.
our rambling, and we're gonna have I think we're gonna try and post on Mondays, or at least record on Mondays. Maybe post on Tuesdays, because that way we get to review the week that just happened. We'll talk about the week coming up, and that gives a few days to listen and digest our words of wisdom that we're gonna spew over here.
Yeah, like we said before, we're not experts.
Got to finish
We
my
don't
beer.
really know what we're doing at the time, but we like hanging out, drinking, and talking about soccer.
As most
The
of
best
you
at,
hopefully do too.
If you're listening to this on the podcast, what we got?
If you're listening to this on the podcast,
Yeah,
like
as a
audio,
podcast,
or
yeah.
as a podcast,
Premier
not on
League,
the podcast.
Premier League and Pints on YouTube. A new Twitter account was just made by yours truly. It's at League Pints. That's all they gave me.
So at League Pints.
At League Pints. Garrett's really good at tweeting out funny stuff
I do
and
like
making
to,
fun
I do
gifts.
like to tweet things.
So we'll get that going.
So
But
if you don't listen to us, at least follow us for fun content.
yeah. So again, subscribe to the podcast, the YouTube. Is that about it?
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening, boys.
See you.
Crack one on us.
And girls.
And
You don't
girls.
know.
I'm like, that's true. All right. See you later.
See ya.